Here. Right. Welcome everyone for joining our section today. My name is Joanne Chu from Hong Kong, and I'm an incoming master student at Imperial College London studying environmental technology. And currently, I'm serving as the Global North contact point of YOUNGO Nature Working Group. So, welcome again to our section. Our section will be talking about land, nature, and climate justice, youth-led action for resilience territories. So before we start, I'd like to give several reminders. So there's interpretation to French, Spanish, and Portuguese. So you can click on the globe icon at the bottom of your window to see the interpretation. And please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat so we can have a sense of who's with us today. And also, this session is being live streamed in YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. It is also being recorded, and you can watch the recording later in the Zoom event platform in the lobby. So yeah, just let's get started. Um, so here's a glimpse of our agenda today. We will talk about a little bit of ourselves, what YOUNGO is and who YOUNGO Nature Working Group is. And then we invited several youth speakers to do the sharing today. And then we can hear about your story. So there will be interactive elements, so please stay tuned and look forward to it. And also we'll have a Q&A section for you to interact with our speakers. And following that, we will have a little conclusion or summary and talk about how we can move forward. So, all right. So just a little introduction about YOUNGO. YOUNGO is one of the 9 civil society constituency of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So in short, the UNFCCC. So as the official children and youth constituency, we represent a network of children and youth organizations, groups, and individuals below the age of 36-year-old. So if you're a member, you're actually free to join any of our thematic working groups according to your interests. So there's, I think about 20 to 30 working groups in total. And here at Nature Working Group, we advocate for the implementation of nature-based solution, stronger real convention collaboration, and the operationalization of Paris Agreement Article 5. And we also believe that conserving biodiversity and ending deforestation are crucial for holistic and effective mitigation and adaptation.
Joanne, excuse me, this
Yeah.
is Romy from the Land Portal. Well, the interpreters are just asking if you can speak a bit slower,
Okay.
remembering the
Okay.
interpretation, and that's also an advice, please, to all speakers today. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So, okay, again, so what we do is we draft policy inputs for the UNFCCC and also other international events to ensure that nature is protected or at least being mentioned across all negotiations. So our group actually works on virtual events and social media, as well as raising awareness and building capacity on nature issues, and we also encourage more ambitious climate and nature action. So here's a glimpse of what we do. We have a capacity building section, which is about Biodiversity Academy. Also, at the right side of that, you can see we also have a lot of social media posts. And we also, as mentioned, we do advocacy work. So we draft policy demands or strategic demands, which we will be compiled into a global youth statement and will be shared to the UNFCCC Secretariat. Other than that, we also actively collaborate with other organizations. So if you're interested, feel free to follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, or if you want to know more about us, just contact me after this section. So about this section, so we're talking about youth, land, nature, and justice. This is a very broad topics that we're covering about, but what's so special about it and what's the connection with us as young people? So land and nature actually provides food, shelter, livelihood, and ecosystem services. But they're facing a lot of challenges, including climate change, land degradation, deforestation, and land use conflicts, which is affecting both ecosystems and our communities. And talking about justice here, there's a lot of things that we require justice on. As you can see, we are living in a world where resources are not allocated fairly. So if we talk about environmental justice, everyone has the right to live and work in a clean, safe, and healthy environment. And talk about climate justice here, as we can see, climate change is disproportionately affecting some communities, including what? Including youth, indigenous people, people of color, and some low-income communities. And here, as youth, we especially emphasize intergenerational justice. Are we actually bearing the brunt of climate change and environmental issues, which is caused by the past generation? And do we have fair access to natural resources, environmental services, and socio-economic opportunities? So here's is what we're doing right now as youth. We are actively engaging in environmental activism and advocacy, as well as being recognized by our passion, vision, and determination in addressing environmental issues. And actually, here we gathered a lot of youth leaders who are at the forefront of safeguarding the environment and fighting for climate, land, and intergenerational justice. So now I think I should stop talking and invite our speakers to share the stories on how they protect the land or how they advocate for more fair access to land and nature resources. So first of all, let me welcome Miss Winning Ila Itzatulangi from Indonesia. So Winning has experience as a social forestry researcher within the area of conflict resolution, socio-economic, and agrarian reform, and she currently works as a field manager consultant at Forest Wise in Indonesia. When you have the floor. It's Winning here. Um, well, I think she might have a little problem with joining the Zoom, so why don't we invite Vincent, would you mind being our speakers first? So, Vincent Mawadi from Zimbabwe, he is a medical student and a passionate youth advocate with proven leadership in health, especially in the rare disease community. He currently serves as the Youth Advocate for Rare Diseases International National Program Coordinator for the Zimbabwe Medical Students Association and Global Ambassador for that world. Vincent, you have the floor.
Okay, so should I start?
Vincent,
Okay.
you're good to go.
Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you can. Okay. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Wherever you are, fellow advocates, leaders, and thinkers. Today we gather not just as youth, but as guardians of the future, standing at a critical crossroads where land, climate, and justice intersect. In Zimbabwe and across the globe, young people are rising with courage, turning challenges into opportunities for resilience and transformation.
Excuse me, Vincent, this is Romy again from Land Portal. It's a bit difficult to hear you. I don't know if it's because of the audio set that you have. Can you speak a bit closer to the microphone, please?
Yeah. It's okay. Can you hear me now clearly?
Still not very clear. Maybe it's because of your audio set, if there is a microphone integrated. I'm posing this question just because of the interpreters, so they can also hear you properly. Would it be possible perhaps to disconnect your headset? Oh.
Okay, let me do that.
Okay, I tried to change the device, so here we go.
Yes, that's much
Okay,
better. Thank you.
okay, it's okay. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, fellow advocates, leaders, and change makers. Thank you all for joining the session, and I'm honored to be part of your guest speaker, to be part of your panelist session, sharing the experiences we have here in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe and across the globe, young people are rising with courage, turning challenges into opportunities for resilience and transformation. This is our time. This is our moment to lead. Zimbabwe's landscapes are rich, diverse, and vital to its people, yet marked by the scars of environmental degradation, climate uncertainty, and unresolved land injustice. For many young Zimbabweans, land is not just earth beneath our feet. It is a lifeline, a source of identity, an economic foundation, and a battleground for justice. However, the youth in Zimbabwe face systemic barriers to land access, equitable resource distribution, and meaningful participation in governance, rooted in historical injustices and current political complexities. Despite these hurdles, young people in Zimbabwe refuse to be sidelined or silenced. We are on the forefront of advocacy in terms of climate change and land injustice. Across Zimbabwe, youth-led organizations are lighting the path towards sustainable, just futures. There are several networks in Zimbabwe, such as the African Youth Initiative on Climate Change Zimbabwe, Emerald Climate Hub, Youth Advocates of Zimbabwe, Young Volunteers for Environment Zimbabwe, and the Zimbabwe Youth Biodiversity Network have galvanized thousands into action. Okay, I'll try to slow down. Together, we form a mosaic, resilient leadership, tackling local realities with global vision. From agroecology, demonstration plots, and community tree planting to climate finance workshops and youth-driven policy advocacy, Zimbabwean youth are transforming challenges into solutions. For example, recently in 2025, one of the capital cities, the city of Bulawayo, held a City of Bulawayo's Youth Climate Action Fund, allocating over 50,000 USD in micro grants, which empowered hundreds of young innovators to implement grassroots climate solutions, from clean energy prototypes to reforestation campaigns. This is an example of just how the government is spearheading youth advocacy in climate change. These grants are not tokenism, but tangible leadership that bridges science, indigenous knowledge, and activism. One young voice, one innovative project at a time. And by 2030, we aim to achieve some improvement in terms of the effects of climate change in Zimbabwe. Nonetheless, the challenges still remain, particularly in unlocking adequate funding and meaningful youth inclusion in decision making. Still tangible successes bear testimony to youth potential, such as the City of Bulawayo's Youth Climate Action Fund, which awarded microgrants, supporting hundreds of young people in practical climate solutions, and community-led clean energy and gender-inclusive projects implemented by other youth organizations. I am quite certain that many of you may know the economic situation in Zimbabwe. We have an unstable economy and employment is hard to get for the youth. So the only thing that youth actually rely on is agriculture. And what is agriculture? You cannot speak agriculture without land, right? Without the environment. And as a result of the climate change, where most parts of Zimbabwe are receiving less rainfall, youth are not able to sustain themselves, develop businesses or something that will be able to sustain themselves or their families. Despite all this, Zimbabwean youth also refuse to be confined to local spaces. We're not only active in Zimbabwe only. Our representatives have carried out stories, demands, and solutions to global stages. From COP summits to UN forums, ensuring that child-centered, youth-led climate policies reflect the lived realities of those most affected. Our youth-produced policy briefs have influenced national dialogues, championing more inclusive and just NDC commitments. But despite these successes, this journey is far from over. Meaningful youth engagement remains constrained by limited funding, fragile land rights, and exclusion from decision-making corridors. These systemic barriers diminish our potential and delay urgently needed reforms. As a medical student and a global health advocate, I witness daily how the climate crisis and land challenges deepen health inequities in Zimbabwe. Vulnerable populations, especially young people with chronic or rare diseases, experience disproportionate risks from malnutrition, infectious diseases, and environmental hazards aggravated by land degradation and climate shocks. Youth-led action for resilient territories must be holistic, not only looking at the environment itself, but we need to look at all forms, everything that is linked to climate change, how it affects the daily lives of everyone, the health, and so on. It must integrate sustainability, social justice, and health equity, recognizing that land, air, water, and human well-being are parts of a sacred whole. We are not asking for charity or pity in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean youth and youth everywhere demand recognition as equal partners with rights to land, resources, and leadership opportunities. Governments, non-governmental organizations, international agencies, and private sectors must invest in youth skill building, unlock access to climate finance, and restructure governance frameworks to include young voices from the start, not as afterthoughts. As youth, we are not the future, we are the present. And as part of the present, we also need to be included in the policy-making decisions that affect us. We call on everyone, maybe in our sessions, everyone, representatives on NGOs, international agencies, to join us in creating systems where youth empowerment fuels resilient ecosystems and climate justice propels sustainable economic and social transformation. As I conclude, I want you to have this as a takeaway. The resilience of our lands depends on the courage and creativity of its youth, a youth that refuses to be silent or invisible. Let us reject the idea that our future is predetermined. We are the present. Together, through youth-led innovation, partnership, and justice, we will build territories that not only survive, but thrive. Let Zimbabwe's youth journey inspire and challenge us all. The time to act is now, and young leaders stand ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for your sharing. And I especially love your quote where you said that youth is not the future, it's the present. Because we have been talking about how we are the future generation, but we are inheriting a lot of things that in our hand, and we are trying to solve a lot of problems. So thank you for your sincere sharing. So next, let's welcome Mr. Jin Tanaka from Japan. So Jin is a dedicated environmental policy professional and a youth advocate specializing in translating complex science into actionable policy and championing climate justice. So his experience include managing development projects in climate vulnerable nations like the Solomon Islands, which provide him with first-hand insight into the human right dimension of climate crisis. So Jin, you have the floor.
Okay, thanks so much for the introduction for me, and thanks for the sparing the time for us for the some hearing to the our sessions. So this is Jin from Japan. I'm the SDG 7 Youth Council regional focal point in East Asia Pacific. Today, I'm going to show the youth action for mutual engagement as with showcasing of the case studies. So currently, the knowledge is divided by the expert knowledge and tacit knowledge. The explained knowledge is kind of some prediction system or warning systems or some prevention hazard maps. It's kind of based onto the science. And whereas tacit knowledge, it's kind of some history or literature or some oral tales. Likewise, there's many tales which is related onto the disasters and also the hazard as well. But this is not in the databases. So we also try to merge both of them as a showcasing on the education and capacity buildings. And also in Asia Pacific, one of the biggest trouble or some issues is waters. And also it's hard to learn about these kinds of both knowledge as some of the four constraints: physical, economical, intentional, and time. And if we could not do some secure to some environmental resources like the waters, maybe it's going to be to some of the conflict and crisis. For securing to the natural resources as we want. And as I mentioned, there's some for tacit and especially for the disaster risk reductions. Today I'm going to talk about it. Is also the hard to catch up to all the topic like the policy side, technological development, and also the research topic as well, and also some adaptations or implementations in the local areas. So I'm going to show some solutions. The Both Side Community Cafe, we call BCC. It's kind of modified by the Kankyo Cafe, which is some environmental communication dialogue method. It's developed by the National Institute for Environment Studies, and they put the words for the piece of the empathy and enhancing to some experiences, exchanging to some of the tacit knowledge and expert knowledge with some of the civil side and special side in the common topic like the society, nature, and economy. And we also targeting to some local community, specialists, and scientists, and civil societies, with bringing to their own experiences or knowledge. And the methodology is quite some simple 4 steps, some educations, and also the implementing onto some of the actions to know. Okay, I'm going to. So say we're going to host some several workshops like the hazard mappings or sharing the past record and evacuation making some evacuation route workshops. And sometimes we also create some oral tale for the disaster preventions. Sometimes we also using the VR as well.
Tanaka-san, sorry, if you can just slow down also when you're speaking because of interpreters. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. And here is main roadmap. First step is online educations for the targeting on small island and developing states in Asia Pacific countries. And then we're going to introduce onto the public education as a STEM education. Then we're going to introduce as a community educations for the prevention in local community a whole them. Last one is exchange some educations with crossing to some sectors, borders, and countries to develop some disaster risk reduction educations rooted in life and technology. So this is a quite huge merit. As a physical side, you can use the smartphones like some old type or new type. You can use the smartphone anytime to learn about it. And so you can learn anywhere and anytime. And intentionally, you can learn with get some of the point to learn or to extend some of the goods. So you will get some motivated. And time constraints. Likewise, I share in the screens. So same format, I'm going to show it. So each place wherever you live in, you can learn for any persons, and you also can get a lecture from the scientists or engineers as well. And then economical constraints. You can turn on your cameras if you want. I did turn on cameras. Okay. So as a economical constraints, we to overcome, just it's going to be the $3. This is the rupees, but I'm going to translate in US dollars. Just $3 per time for hosting to the one event and one lectures. So it will be less burdens for the economical burdens for the two whole participants in any other place. And current engagement, I'm going to show it. There are some of the areas like the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia, and my home country, Japan, and some other countries like the India or Bangladesh. And we also showcased for the Asia Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development. And just 2 weeks ago, we also had it showcased in the UNESCO Digital Learning Week as some of the advanced case studies with using to the AI and digital learnings. And we also try to, in 2030s, we're going to reach to the 85,000 engineer potentials and 50 areas for motor manage and 30 trillion US dollars for economic potential to develop in the whole of the Asia Pacific countries to grow up some human resources who is in charge of some civil society and civil engineering to protect and to adapt for some future climate disasters for via developing the cities and local areas. And I'm going to show the current timelines. So until 2025, we already developed some of the showcase some actions and involve into some several frameworks, like the Greening Education Partnerships or UNESCO IOC, the UN Ocean Decade Actions. And also in the future, we're going to introduce as a UNEBOC, as a Tibet educations for the taking some initiative for the open to all the workers in communities in Asia Pacific countries to take to learning about the implementations for online and homeschooling for open to any persons. So here's the conclusions. So we can merge expert knowledge and tacit knowledge to one platform to know about the future preparations for the next your climate change disasters. And it's gonna be low cost, just $3. And it's not constrained by some time, place, and materials. And then we also can give you some of the technology side and history side. And then you can get to know, to develop and get some capacity buildings for the next career path to be some human resources to support your future city. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jin, and thank you for your in-depth sharing. It is very impressive to know how other youth in Japan or in East Asian city are doing so much and taking lead in youth actions for our climate and especially preparing ourselves and also the future generation for disaster. So let's hear one more youth for sharing. And coming up next, we have Winning, who is finally able to join us. Thank you, Winning. So, Miss Winning Ila Telangi from Indonesia. So, Winning has experience as a social forestry researcher within the area of conflict resolution, socio-economic, and agrarian reform. And currently, she works as a field manager consultant at the Forest Rise West Kalimantan. So, Winning, please.
Thank you so much, Joanne. And hi, everyone. Nice to have everyone in here. And I'm Winning, and I would like to present a little bit things about my research on social forestry. So I would like everyone to imagine something first. How to understand about your country itself? As the perspective on the social forest researcher, I can say that it's very important to understand about colonialism first. However, I would like to share about the map of Indonesia. So wait, let me show you my oh, I think it's not wait, oh, how to move it? Okay. So if everyone know about Indonesia, maybe like some of you only remember about Bali, but no, Indonesia is more than that. So I would like to tell you that Indonesia, even though it's a well-known country, it's also a country that have been colonized by so many years. It's like more than 300 years being colonized with two different countries actually. So if you can see in here, Kalimantan, where I work now, and Java, where I come from, Sumatra, is being colonized by Netherlands for 350 years. And then like from here, you can see Sulawesi, Ambon, and the etc. is being colonized by Portuguese. And both of the country have different way to colonize. So if you want to colonize or if you want to broke the country, the most important thing is you broke the institutions. So what institution itself? Institution is how you interact, how the government interact for each other. So we have two different sides that create Indonesia become a very diverse country, and you must please take attention because it can be the same with the case on your country. So from this side or from the left side, from my side, it was colonized by Netherlands. So they used the how to say, they say the divide et impera. It's called it's the how to say, it's the strategy that they use to divide the empire. So they try to make one empire and to another empire being an enemy. So that's how they try to broke the country. So that's why like Indonesia at that time have so many like have so many kings, and they are being each other enemy, and then now it's already gone at all. And now if you can see at the right side, they use if you ever remember the word king, vini vidi vici. So it's like try to find the goal, try to change the religion and the etc. So the kind of colonialization is to erase the whole traditions. You change the language, for example in the Mexico, because I have been in there too. So they try to erase the tradition by you cannot speak your own language. So that's how the colonialization works. If you try to understand that, you will understand how your country, being such a country, after you understand about the situation in your country, for example, in Indonesia, um, you can see like how to try to build and how to own your own country. So that's why like in every places, especially on the global south, it's very hard for everyone to have that kind of land, because the first one, because for example like both in Indonesia, we are being a republic, so all the lands is being have by the governments. So when before the republic happens, all the land is being by the community, but when it becomes a country, it's all coming from the government, and that's we call reforma agraria. Agrarian reform is an act to distribute the land. So that's why like youth, not only youth, it's also like the elders having a very difficulty to how to say like to say this is my land, because you know what, everything have been erased. So try to accept that we have been colonialized. It's very important so you understand about how is the kind of conflict that being happens in your country. That's the first. And then with that, how to say, with this kind of research, our next, oh, sorry. Wait, my next research is also, wait, I think like, my next research is also questions how to make the youth understand about the situation that happens in the country itself. So wait, I will show you. Wait. Okay, because if you ever remember, if you want to work the country first, it's not only like you broke the institution itself. Wait, I might. Okay. Wait, I. Okay, I'm a bit confused, but I will make it happen. Okay. But so the next step that we also do is like try to understand if okay, if our institution is already broke, how we try to fix the institution. If we might already know that yeah, if you want to broke the country, just broke the youth itself. Just try to make them doesn't understand about their country. But the situation is it's not only about the youth that you are trying to destroy, but also the how to say the parents itself. But let's focus on the youth right now. So we are currently doing a research about the social forestry. So social forestry is a concept that forest is not only owned by like the industrial things, but it's also owned by the community. So and in fact, because I'm a forester, in fact, globally, forester is not like someone coming from the university. A lot of times, people that work as a forester is someone that never attended university at all. So the concept of the social forestry actually is being owned by the academia itself. And we are trying to understand. So in here, we are doing the research that I can also share you later. First, what is the external aspects that try to influence the youth? And also what is the internal aspect? And then like we are also trying to, if we have this kind of external aspect in this internal aspect, will it be how to say like influence the level of understandings. So from the internal aspect is something that is coming from the internal as like gender suitable educations in under the motivation, and the external things that something that we can influence, that is like first engage in a student group, and then like having it in our the curriculum, and then like communication outreach, source of informations, and the last is the workshop. And from that, we are trying to understand about that. And our wait, wait like that. And our result is see that wait, as you can see in here. So yeah, first, social forestry is like another approach. So even though like a forestry students, they do not understand about that. It's not only about, so social forestry is also include the study of the land, the study of agrarian reform, the study of climate justice, how the community try to have the land. So it's not only like about social forestry only, but it's the whole concept of it. And even the social, the forestry student doesn't understand about that. And the question is, what about the student that is not studying forestry, or a student that is not studying environment or climate study? And however, we see that the youth really, if you can see the bar in here, really see that it's very important concepts. And then they also think about that it's very important for women to be involved. And then like the last one, many youth try to understand, but they do not have a place for that. So our what we can, how to say, like what we can try to influence by the government as of now, not only in Indonesia, but in Latin America also, it's to spread the knowledge and put it in the curriculum. Because if you want to talk about sustainable thinking, university is the best place, or school itself. Because if university coming from the word universum, that means like being universal. So it's the best place to understand, because actually the students is already tired, and having connections is sometimes like not in everyone's agenda, because they sometimes work and a lot of things. So what we try to influence the government as of now is, yes, try to put it on the curriculum and put as much funding to the youth. And maybe that's only from my side. And how to say, like this kind of work is not stop being a paper, but we are also try, many how to say, many international agency like the Ford Foundations and the etc. and KLUA, if everyone knows, is also trying to support this kind of influencing the government, and also like the UN agency. So that's what we are doing. And just last point, because I think like it's more from my time. Uh, if you want to have the land, it's not necessary. You are the youth. We are currently the youth, and we are currently the one that the government will hear. So if you know like so many cases of the globally that everyone being protest. For example, in Indonesia, currently in Nepal, also everyone protests a lot, and in Serbia too, the government changed. So just use your voice, just your ability to do research. And if you are confused on what will you do, just try to reach out to anyone. So this event also being governed by the YOUNGO, that it's very great organization. You can meet a lot of minded people. So if you have any confusion on anything, just reach out to everyone, or if you join the WhatsApp group, because everyone will help you. We are youth, and we are the part of the global society itself. So I think that's all from me. Thank you so much for having me. I'm passing it back to Johanny. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Winning. And Honestly, I can feel your passion just by your sharing. And yes, thank you. Also, thank you for your call to action. And I also encourage every youth to make good use of your voice. And if you're interested, do join Yango and join us. So coming up next, we will have something fun to get you all more excited. So I'll pass the time to Joanna to lead the upcoming session. Joanna, please.
Uh,
No, can't hear you.
Strange, we could hear you for a second.
Yeah.
no. No.
Can you
Yes.
put your microphone closer to your mouth so we can hear more clearly?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah, now
Yes.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. I'm really happy to be here and for this opportunity. I really thank you, the Land Portal Foundation, for the event and the accepted our session. My name is Joanna. I am joined today from Brazil, and I am helping to support this session as co-moderator with Joanne. I'm a forestry student. I study also cultural science at the University of São Paulo, and I am passionate about environmental justice, biodiversity, sustainable land use, climate justice. I've been involved in youth-led project on urban agriculture, climate education, and community empowerment. I am really excited to hear your experience and solution during the session. It's an honor to be here. Talking about land, nature, and climate justice. For now, we will have an interactive activity, an interactive moment. It's time to you for get involved. We will use two platforms, Slido and Miro. If anyone has any difficulties using this platform, please let us know here in the chat, and we will try to help. Today we are reflect about land, nature, and climate justice, and what is the importance of the initiatives of the young people to build territories that are more resilient to climate justice, to climate change, and the biodiversity loss. Our first question on Slido, I will share here. On Slido, we have two questions. And the first one, we will create a word cloud. What is the word cloud? Just to clarify, a word cloud, it's a visual template where the words that appear most frequently are shown larger as a priority, but just one word or few words. I will send the link here on the chat. I will press that. Just a minute. Here we go.
Joanna, if you prefer, I can also share my screen with the Slido. Just let me know.
Please, I think it's better. Maybe I can present the middle.
Okay.
Thank you. Our first question is, when you hear land and climate justice, what word comes to your mind? I put only in English, Spanish, and French because the Slido has limits of characters, but I am sending all translation in chat. I think I will need to present because the results present to appear to me, only to me, I think. Just a minute.
Sorry, did I understand correctly? Okay, you will present. Okay.
Nice. You
I encourage everybody to join this interactive section with us. So do click on the link and let us know your thought here. And it will be showed, the real-time result will be shown on the screen.
and if you have any problems with the platform, send it here on the chat. Integration. We have some contributions here. If anyone has any problem, talk to us. And I think because our time, I will interrupt and we will pass to the next question on Slido, next interaction. And the second question is it's what is the biggest challenge you face in your territory? And I put some options and we can select it. You need only yeah, okay, it's work. If anyone but others, we can detail more on Miro. It's our next step. And because of the limit of the word of words, I will send it here also in all translations. Nice. Well, now, just a minute. Thank you for your contributions until here. For now, we have here some people put other problems, and we are going to the middle. Can you see mirror board? Nice. And the first question of the mirror, our mirror board.
Joanna, I think for the mirror, you have to paste another link, right?
Okay. I will share. Our first question on mirror, I will say here the link. It's the last question of Slido, especially to people, but others experience others challenges, and we can detail more and explaining more about your details.
Joanna, just one remark that people may need to log in. So we need to give it a few seconds.
Okay.
I don't know if there is a way
Um,
for people to join the Miro without any login.
If anyone has any problem, I can send your contributions on chat and I can put on the Miro. It's an option only to have. And feel free to put other contributions here in our second question to share one local solution or youth action you know that inspires you. Um, we wish he had more time to put her all the inspiring stories from each young person, but unfortunately, that's not possible. Therefore, the new board is a good option for you to write and share your experience and your stories in another way. It's an option. I will give you a few minutes.
Joanna, for easier reference, maybe you can also type in Miro, say the example from your own country or from your own experience, so other participants can know or can be less shy to share their thoughts with us. Right, I see a few responses, so maybe I can also recap it here. So I see that some of the youth express that they have challenges with access to data, or we do not have access to land to be able to participate in agricultural activities or start businesses. So I think in summary, youth having challenges or difficulties in access to resources, as I mentioned earlier, no matter it's data or it's to the land itself. So that's why here's the problem. And so what comes next is what can we help or what can we do or what can the government or other organizations can do to help with this problem? And well, apart from the challenges, let's see what we are actually doing here. So I see some also shared your local solution that you can participate in recycling campaigns or recycling plastic bottles to make income for themselves. And also we have youth that promote agroforestry and medicinal plants gardening in peri-urban areas. Wow, this is very impressive. For those who typed this, I would like to know more about your stories as well. Please feel free to share with us more in the group chat or in the later section. This is very interesting. And we also have, I can also see that some young farmers are actually talking to their parents to convert their unused or inactive family land to organic farming. So this is a very sustainable solution for our planet because organic farming, it means that we're not using any chemicals and we are doing agricultural activities in a sustainable way, right? So I think this is also a very interesting and insightful solution. So Joanna, do you perhaps want to give 1 to 2 minutes more, or do you want to proceed with another questions? But I can see that some are typing, so maybe we can give about 2 more minutes before we move to the next question or section.
Mhm. Okay. It's okay, 2 more minutes, and then after we will interact even more.
Okay, I see most of us have finished typing, so I also see some other solutions in your own country. Is that some local movements, for example, in Kenya and Nigeria, or another interesting way that Marvin, I saw you type, is that to let the youth to voice out their opinions by having protests or social movements in the street. So that's a way for the government to hear a voice and also participate in, for example, decision making or actually influencing the policy. That is really good. And I think Winning also mentioned this point before that you can see in the recent few weeks or the recent few days, there's a lot of protests everywhere in the on the world where we can actually see some positive outcome from that. So this is also a really good way, or actually another alternatives we can consider to use our voice to influence our government. So perhaps, Joanna, maybe we can move on to the next question. I think most have completed their answers already.
For now, I will pause the presentation. But anyone would like to continue contributing, please feel free to do so. You have the link.
Because you must have.
And then,
Joanna, you muted yourself.
we really like to hear from some of you about your experience, some things that you share on Miro or on Slido. Feel free to share your experience or thoughts. I will ask to you, please, raising your hands, and we will move on. Open your mic if someone wants to put some contributions. Open your mic. Someone. It's okay. If you want to put on chat, it's okay. It's good.
Yeah, I think there's about 7 to 8 minutes left. So I assume if everyone or if anyone have questions for our speakers from the previous presentation, please also feel free to, you can unmute yourself or feel free to type anything in the chat box. So we are happy to answer all the questions. And we also encourage any discussions if you want.
This is Romy again. Question to my colleagues here, Neil, also just to instruct people. I don't know if it's possible to raise their hands if there is an application for that. I am actually missing that in this format of Zoom. If
Yeah, you
somebody
click on React and then raise hand. React,
Oh, right.
raise hand. And I think they can, this is just a meeting, it's not a webinar, so people can unmute themselves
But
and turn on your camera. Go ahead and turn on your camera too.
great. But great if you can first raise your hand so that Joanne can also see the listing of people who wants to talk. So we avoid any overlapping voices. Thank you.
Joanna, can you show the Miro chat again? Because I see some requested to see the response. Yeah. And we also have one question or one chat from the chat room from Marvin, which says that there are a lot of infrastructure projects about climate-induced flood control costing billions of dollars that are being pocketed by government officials, and the youth are actually on the forefront of street protests and social media movement denouncing this malpractice. So I'm assuming that this also happened to a lot of country as well, whether it's say corruption or other infrastructure projects, not only about flood control, but other things. So is there any ways, or do you see the solution for that? Marvin, can I also ask which country are you from? Interesting. Oh, Philippines. That's why you're saying that there are many typhoons visiting your countries.
I think we can go to the polls tonight because our time. Okay. Oh, yes. Can you open your mic, Anas?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Anas from Land Portal. I just wanted to comment about one of the entries I saw in the Miro board about youth seen as inexperienced, and their voices are often not included in the decision making. Working before with youth in Syria, we faced also the same problem where usually youth voices are being neglected and not being heard. Or if it's being heard, it's something just like just to show other people or the community that we are doing that without any actual points taken to respond to youth voices or for their participation. But in order to overcome this, I guess that we should advocate through this conference and through any youth conference in the future that we need to have youth quotas in decision making for uh, uh, any issue, either it is climate issue or any kind of issue, to ensure that youth representatives, as we do for example, to ensure gender balance, we also need to do that for age, where at least some spots are reserved for youth to be in any policy making process or decision making that's been taken. So I just wanted to comment on that, and I hope if anyone else have any other contributions to talk about this or any other point, that would be great.
Thank you, Anas. And this is actually, I typed this point because this is what I experienced in my own country. But in the alternatives, or in another way, the government is trying to involve more youth, including the formation of some youth advisory panel or a steering committee for youth that allows them to share their opinions to the government, be it or no matter the decision or what they've shared has been adopted or not. This is still, I think, is one of the practical ways that I'll encourage different local and governments to do so, because this is a way we can directly perhaps have the opportunity to speak to, say, the councillor or even people in the legislative council as well. So I think another way that I would suggest is some meet and greet event with some local bureaus or even some, president or some major government officials. Because during COP16 where I attended, I actually have the chance to speak to one Dominican government officials in a room, just like sitting in a roundtable discussion format. So it was very impressive to me because I feel like actually some government officials are open to listen to our voices. So if the government can take the lead or take the very first step to initiate such kind of events or initiatives, that would be great for them to listen to our demands, what challenges are we facing as we have talked about it today, and let our insight also be shared or exchanged with the government officials as well. So thank you so much for your inputs and comments.
Joe and Vincent, to close this, was suggesting we take a screenshot, a picture with everybody, if everyone is okay with it. I would suggest, Joanna, if you can stop sharing your screen so that we can all put our cameras on and take a screenshot. I'll give a few seconds for everyone to activate their cameras, please. I'll do that myself. That is great. Full screen.
Don't hesitate to turn on your camera.
Yes. And a few more. Okay. Perhaps, Joanne, you can also do a screen share. We may have different people, each of us, so I encourage to do that. Okay. I'll say 1, 2, 3. One more. Great. Joanne, you also want to take one from your side?
Yeah, it's already done. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget the closing session that starts in an hour from now, hour and 10 minutes.
Session in an hour from now. We are waiting all for you there. Thank you.
Bye now. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Much for participating.
Goodbye.
Okay.